Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, let me just show you something real quick. As you can see, I basically have no hips, right? I mean, I do have the actual thing's hips, but my hips and my stomach area are about the same size. What this means is that no matter how tight I cinch my belts, my pants gradually work their way down my hips, because there's no thing like that to snag it. So for that time when in hip hop culture, having your pants kind of falling down was in style, I was at the height of hip hop passion. But it's mostly just inconvenient. I'm always pulling up my pants several times in an hour. And this is a part of my genetic makeup, just like my blue eyes, which are, I mean, very common in my family, but actually are less common among the general public. See, in order to get blue eyes, the genetic factors have to line up perfectly. If there's even one brown-eyed trait in the mix, then people wind up with brown eyes. So brown eyes are the most common eye color in the U.S. and in pretty much the world. I'm bald. I get that from my mother's side of the family. My father had a full head of hair, but all of my uncles and cousins had the baldness. So my family and my extended family look a little bit different from everybody else's family. If you generally, if you put two families side by side, people can pick out who's in which family. One of my best friends is Lithuanian, of Lithuanian descent. His family has brown eyes and dark hair, but there are a few, there are a couple of blonde, blue-eyed people in there. So it does happen even where that trait is most dominant. See, these characteristics are pretty minor. They don't make us different from each other. And so, since childhood, my friend and I have, been friends. We didn't let these minor differences get in the way of our friendship. Now, when I grew up, most of my friends were white folks. That's where I grew up. But as I expanded my horizons, as I went to college and then moved away from my neighborhood, the way my friends looked became a lot more varied. I have friends from from high school, college, from my days working as a nurse, and from my time as a comedian. So that expansion has resulted in the fact that I have many friends who are black, Latino, Asian, Pacific Islanders, Arabs, and other ethnicities. And so their backgrounds and experiences are much different than mine. Some are very religious, most aren't. But the bonds that we have formed stem from common interests and values and shared experiences, which far outweigh our differences. So my slim hips and blue eyes are not a factor in my friendships. But for a lot of people, these things matters. Skin color matters more often than it should. But skin color is just that. It's a color. It doesn't affect the person that's in it. A lot of people have much smaller circles of friends than I do. People who have stayed in one town for all their lives. So their friends may all look alike. And actually, this is kind of a shame, because knowing people from outside my race and ethnicity has broadened my thinking. Forced me to confront opinions and attitudes that I once accepted without question. Taught me things about the world that I would never have learned if I stayed in my hometown. My life is a lot better for it. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should leave town and develop a wide circle of friends, but I am saying that it's a good idea to be open to people who are much different than you. Thanks for listening.